learned from the lesson. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it down, we gon' get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watches coming into June 5th, 2020, and Boeing and American Airlines saved the stock market, and that's pretty much all that happened today. It was a pretty uneventful day. I mean, in many respects, we saw a lot of weird moves in the market, but really driven by nothing. Some people would say technicals. There wasn't anything too crazy. There was the initial jobless claims report, but we're going to be getting the non-farm payrolls tomorrow. So that is kind of important. It can move the markets, but you guys have seen what economic data has really done so far. But we had a few other things overseas, and we are going to be coming into a Froggy Friday. There's going to be a couple rotations in industries I'm going to be looking for. So I have a few plays I'm going to be looking at. Specifically, if they don't come to fruition, we can't force it. I feel like we've already seen it this week with stocks like Boeing and American Airlines. There is big moves, and some of these companies can move, and it's really company oriented, and then it's bringing up some of the other sectors. So we have a lot to talk about. I got the keys, the plays, all that, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So let us not delay. You guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed, and if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's the first link in the description, and it is pinned in the comments. We better see you there in the morning. It's free 99. It costs you nothing to join. YouTube.com/the stock market. You can post the plays, see the plays, ask about the plays, watch the watch list come to life live. And the most important thing you need to do, post your watch list below. Let us know what you're looking at. You got any plays, comments, remixes, anything, post it below. We need to source that info. So right off the bat, the first thing was initial jobless claims. Again, we closed it. It was weird. We closed down on the SPY, up on the Dow Jones. That's why I'm saying Boeing, they still closed up 5-6%. American Airlines was up at like 50% at one point. That surprised me. Only on the option side, though. The options were nice, man. So we're going to talk about that. But you're getting the non-farm payrolls tomorrow. So how that plays out, like I said, it could have a potential effect, but I really doubt it unless it comes in bigger than expected. The initial jobless claims was a couple 100,000 worse than expected. So that could be a hint, but we also got some trade data and all that. I might even go over that in the weekend, but it's going to be an overall slow week. The next thing we saw was the ECB. They did more stimulus, and the bigger, broader point to get from all of this, it's that the whole globe, literally, we saw Mexico like a week or two ago. Now you see the ECB. You saw China with the QE and everything they're doing with their lending facilities. But you see the rest of the world doing that. Remember, this is a global economy. Even the recovery restart, we are factoring in global growth and all of that stuff. So that is going to be important. But take note that we did not do anything at our last meeting. So why I'm bringing this up, and today was weird. There wasn't that much information or news to have caused some of the moves we saw, but at the end of the day, it wasn't that big. If American Airlines and Boeing didn't go up that much, it probably would have been a lot worse, but that all caught my eye simply because at the end of the day, this ECB stuff, I thought it would have been positive, but it's having more implications. So we're not going to get to see that. Again, today was a very tricky day with what you saw. Again, with even the bonds, they sent a more positive signal about the markets. It was pretty big too, but the VIX closed up slightly. Russell dropped or closed flat. S&P barely down. The Dow was barely up. So there's a few other things going on beneath the surface too. Everything from the riots. We saw the meeting with Barr, and we thought that's what the market was waiting for. But again, overall, just a very, very weird day. So even coming into this week, I'm watching for the China news. I want to see if anything develops. Remember, we brought that up at the beginning of the week. That was kind of one of our main concerns and what we've been watching over the last few weeks. But I want to see if anything happens there, even over the weekend. We had that little hint the other day with the China travel ban too. So we will see. But the airlines have been up. So I don't know. But other than that, we have not seen anything better than a few companies report certain, better than expected data and all that. So to finalize all this, I think tomorrow it's just going to be a real coin flip of a day like we've just seen this week, but learn how to navigate days like today and weeks like this, because pretty much we saw a big move in the beginning of the week, and then now what do you do when the streak is kind of ending, but the streak could still continue, but then there's still stuff beneath the surface, and then ultimately, though, this is all moving like summer, so unless acted upon by an equal or opposite force, which can happen, we should have a pretty chill Friday with a few individual companies going a little bit crazy. But we are setting up into more incoming data. We have to still see how the global world is working with all this, but there's still a lot of things moving, but now things have kind of slowed down and calmed down. But Do not let the seasonality fool you. So that's it. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you got your budgets ready. Anything could happen. You've seen these Froggy Fridays, but let us get into the plays. Oh, man, you guys already saw the plays. I didn't show you. Well, here's what I have outlined here. Today, I did a lot of profit taking, so we'll go over those plays because you can still see the plays that I'm in, and it's kind of the same philosophy I've been looking over the last few days. I'm looking for credit spreads. I didn't open any plays today. I trimmed some of the stuff I owned, but then I'm still keeping my eyes on what I'm looking for. But AAL, I'm either thinking puts or if they keep going crazy. But the thing I don't like is that the AALs don't look good. But I don't like these for the long-term stocks. A lot of people said, should I buy into these? I said, trading is a different story. Remember, I even said it in that video where I said I'm not down with them long-term. This reopening news, we said it's going to go crazy, and that is what's happening. But they are positioned a little bit more unique. So one, I just want to see if we see this trend continue and if it goes a little crazy. But the volume on this today was pretty unreal. This is 300 million, even if it's at this low of a price. It's like that. That's a lot. Like, again, looking at this chart, this is a big move, and it might have a lot of follow through. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on that. But also, just even if it comes down, why I'm even saying the puts, it just doesn't look like the puts are good, but that's how usually the calls look too. What I'm saying is that this is going to be an opportunity either tomorrow and even throughout the next week, because the option chain is going to be messed up pretty much. If there's this much volume and activity, this stock can make moves. It's not supposed to. So the option chain is going to have really, really big difficulties pricing in some of these. So it's going to be really risky. That doesn't mean, if it's an opportunity for really, really good plays, but it's also an opportunity to overpay for something at the same time, because it's going to be risky. It's going to fluctuate a lot. So small balances, I'm going to be looking at those on the option side tomorrow. Then the next thing, because they've done better than expected, they've had a rotation, and these are the same industries. I'm pretty much eyeing some industries that got really, really killed. I think some of even the food stocks and restaurants, but mainly travel, some of these stocks could get really, 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 really good support or rotation. So just because they're good quality names, but they got really, really battered down. Again, the airlines, but I'm talking about this from a trading perspective. So that's why I'm going to be looking at the banks even tomorrow. If they kind of get the rotation, if we start to see these big rotations, that's what's keeping the market up, is when you allow these industries to kind of have these fat runs, so that when they start to give it back a little bit, another one gets to go. So it's operating pretty smoothly, believe it or not. But I'm going to be watching for the banks tomorrow, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and I'm meaning this on the call side. So even if we do get a down day, we're going to look for that. So I'm not looking at these plays like AAL, both sides, the Bank of America. I'm looking for the upside if they do get rotated into and kind of just break out and do what American Airlines and some of these other industries and stocks and individual names we've seen do lately. So watch them. And then finally, another industry we saw move a lot this week, transports. I'm going to look at FedEx, UPS, but that McDonald's HD play, I haven't sold any premium on HD, so I want to keep my eye out for that. So we'll see. But those are the three plays I'm going to be looking for. Again, tomorrow is just, I have a feeling we're going to see something, but at the same time, I think we're going to experience a lot of these types of days that we've seen already. So there is that. Now, at the same time, I have a lot of plays that I'm in, and there's a lot of plays we went after today. There was ROL. It was like they want to go for sale, or they're looking for someone to buy them. They shot up, wasn't able to snake the chain. So I had my limit. I had a limit at 70. I think, oh man, that's even crazy. But didn't get that one. Same thing with LVS. We were trying to snake that. They had news about like money laundering or something like that. But what I did do, we sold out of that Boeing. So I forgot when we bought this, but it's the 205 call. We bought these at 60 cents. There, I found them. We bought those. Damn, we bought those right in the morning, man. Oh, remember, I made the watch list, and I told you guys I was going to buy them off the news, but we got this last Thursday. So about 5 of those at 60 cents. I sold out 4 or 3 at the beginning of this week. Where was it? Yeah, remember we sold 3 yesterday at 109, got our initial investment back, so I have 2 left. I sold one of them today at 503, so I'm still holding that play. Boeing's at a good level, but at this point, I'm walking away all profit. I still have a pretty good amount there. I should take it. I'm going to see tomorrow, so if they really lose steam tomorrow and I'm forced to hold it, I'll hold it, but if it's like kind of in the midpoint, I might sell out of it. But I'm still in that play. Here's the Pinterest. We got these, I think, last week. I bought these. I had 3 of them at like 40 or 60 cents. I'm not too sure. I think 50 cents, but they went up. I was like, well, I want to trim stuff, so they had a little bit of a profit. Took that, but I'm holding one, so I'm still in that play. But this one expires again, June 19th. It's right around the corner. It's still time, but don't forget, we're on this big rally with a lot of these plays. So even if it's June 19th, if the stocks have moved up a lot, that's why they have value, or a lot of these options, but it could come right back down again. That's how it was. I'm still in those beyond plays. Those were tripling, and then they came down, then they doubled today. Now they're literally negative as I'm speaking. So watch out for that. But those are those first two plays. And then finally, on the other account, I made a lot more trims here. I cut out of Chewy. Remember, this was the play I said I was going to flip yesterday. So I said I wanted to flip it. It didn't get this high yesterday. I think it got to like 80 or 90 cents, but I said I'm going to hold it. But today it was going up. So even though they were July, remember we bought, this was the other day. Again, beginning of this week, I bought 10 of these at 60 cents, spent $600. I was able to sell 6 of them back at $6.30. So I got a $30 profit, but now I'm holding the other 4 for earnings, and I have those for free. And then Snapchat, remember we got these on earnings. So I'm still holding some of these, but I sold 8 out of the 10. So I sold these at like $1.28 a pop. So I got just a little bit over $1,000 back, but I'm still holding these right here. I still got 2 more. So I bought those at $20 a pop, sold them at $1.28. Says like, so 387%, but I think they came down. Is it the same price? Yeah, a little bit, but not too bad. So just going to ride those out, those credit spreads, again, the McDonald's and HDs and ones we went over, and even so you guys could get an idea of what's happening, take a look at what the credit spread looks like. Here's that Nike one. Remember, we risked $400 to make $100. I'm down 65%. We will see again. There's time, even though it's dropping. Just watch how this plays out. We'll keep a heartbeat on these so you guys can see the trust fall in the pillows. Because again, I know my max loss, so I'm cool with losing 400, even though it's going against me now. Just we'll use it to our advantage because time is in our advantage in this play. So there's that one. I believe we're still down on the McDonald's, but I think it came back a little bit now. I think you're down like $60 on it, or 140 if we close down now. But I think that's the max we could lose anyway. So give that one some time. And then the Netflix, that one was interesting. I was up on this one. See, I'm only down 17 now. I was up like 30 or 40% on this one. Remember, we sold it like 270, so now it's at like 310, so we're down 40, $50 on it. So those are pretty much it. I'm in all these plays. Again, we've balanced most of these portfolios pretty well. Haven't done much, just shares. Again, even our Abivi shares and even the long term, that's been good. So I'm going to be looking at those. So that is pretty much it. So as far as everything else, there's other companies I'm going to be looking for. Again, tomorrow's just going to be looking for some trades. If we could get some good swings or there's a real catalyst or event, those are the plays I want. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking to sell premium. So these are all the companies we covered. These watch Boeing, Pinterest, Snap, Chewy, again, earnings, McDonald's, NVIDIA, still in that on the small account, still holding it. We did not get assigned, thankfully, so that's actually good news. So I'm just going to keep holding that play till expiration, and then from there, we will either roll over or we will bite the bullet and take the loss. So watch them. Going to be watching AAL tomorrow. Watch Tesla. Elon had some comments about like Monopoly and Amazon. Amazon kind of reacted, but again, there were just so many other things, and that's kind of like a person-to-person thing. It seemed like a non-event as far as the news. Again, Elon's not tweeting about his company, and the implications are different. That's why we did not react when this news came out. So watch them. Watch UNH. I've been really looking for them, and they're kind of slipping here now. I've been talking about it, but they might go into like a few-day trance of dropping here. I've never really tried to play them on the put side, so maybe I should actually think about that because I've never gone after them, but I've been looking them mainly for the call side, so we'll see. But watch them. Watch HD. I might even look to buy premium. Again, these are one of those stocks that would rotate, so watch for the rotations in the industries. That's been important. I'm going to look for them on the call side if they show strength in a down market or a stalling market. And then out of the bank stocks, again, watch them tomorrow. JP is one that could move. They're a big favorite. The contracts are expensive in the mornings on Friday, but they get a little cheap throughout the day. I'm going to be watching them, but those are going to be one of my more favorite ones. Then Bank of America. I think they're even going up a little bit after hours. Wells Fargo too. Wells Fargo took the biggest beating, so they would probably have the more room to gain, but they might kind of get stalled out. But JP would have the most upside, and Bank of America is kind of in the middle, but I like them. And then finally, good old TLT again. This was a big move down, and the bonds are snitching the opposite, that the market is kind of believing this, but we're at key points now, so don't forget this point, even though we naturally get here, this is a naturally highly elevated scenario. So it's still telling us something. So again, it's like the market is still bad and the bonds are reflecting that, but it's showing, kind of how the fear is dropping and how we're kind of coming to a new reality, but it doesn't mean the reality is going to bring, bonds and those longer term interest rates back to where they were. So it'll actually be impossible at this point. So we will see, but watch them. Watchlist, we were talking about this with the long term. I'm going to be looking at them because we have Uber, but like I even said earlier today, like some of the transports and industries that got hit, watch for kind of interesting bullishness there. But then also Abivai, I'm pretty sure they have PDUFA news. I'm not too sure, but I think they have something or some sort of meeting over this weekend, either tomorrow, the weekend, or Monday. So we'll see, but they've held up. Remember, we bought those shares the other day. They're doing pretty good. But other than that, it's going to be pretty relaxing with a hint of excitingness and randomness if you're ready and ready to strike. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you ready to go in the balance budget. And yes, I'm too hyped. You get what I'm saying. It's going to be a Froggy Friday. Anything can be thrown at us just because it's slow. Don't check out. You're seeing these plays. You're seeing the power of time. You could even see what happens when you go small, baby. Don't force it. But the code loves you. I love you. I'm going to see you in the morning. Let's go.